Dear students, in this video lecture, we will discuss about linear sequential model, software development phases, validation and verification, shortcomings of classical lifecycle model, iterative waterfall model, and the use of waterfall approach. Linear sequential model states that the phases are organized in linear order. This model is also called as classical waterfall model or basic or fundamental model of software engineering, and the linear sequential model contains the different development phases like system feasibility, requirement analysis and project planning, system design, coding, testing, installation, operation and maintenance. The classical waterfall model is also called as linear sequential model, and this model is named as waterfall model as its diagrammatically representation resembles a cascade of waterfalls. It means the water flows downwards. It is not a practical. The classical life, we can say that the classical life cycle model is not a practical model in the sense that it can be used in actual software development. We can consider this model to be a theoretical model of software development. The waterfall, this figure shows the better representation of different phases with output of each phase. Software development phases. First, we will discuss about the feasibility study. In this phase, its main aim is to determine that whether it would be financially or technically feasible to develop the product. It involves the analysis of problem and collection of all the information related to the product. The output of this phase is the abstract definition of problem, formulation of different strategies to solve the problem, and evaluation of different solution strategies. Second phase is requirement analysis and project planning. Its main aim is to understand the exact requirements of the customer and document them properly. In the requirement analysis phase, we know that in software development, two parties are involved. One is the client and developer. The client usually does not understand how the software is developed, and the developer usually does not understand about the problem domain of the client. So this causes a communication gap, and during the requirement analysis, this communication gap is minimized through the interaction or the meetings between the two parties. The customer requirements are identified during the requirements gathering and analysis activity are organized into a software requirement specification document, or simply it's called SRS. The third phase is the design phase. The main goal of the design phase is to transform the SRS into structure that is suitable for implementation in some programming language. The design phase is divided into two parts. First is system design and detailed design. In system design is sometimes called as architecture design or high level design. It involves the decomposition of system into modules and representing the interface and invocation relationship among the modules. The second part of the design phase is detailed design. In this, internals of individual modules are designed and data structure and algorithms of the modules are designed. For designing, two techniques are used. One is a structured analysis, another is object oriented analysis. And the traditional design approach is called structured design approach, and the latest design approach is called object oriented approach, and we will discuss about these phases in detail in our next slide or next video lecture. Fourth phase is the coding phase. Its purpose is to translate the software design into a code by using some programming language. Next phase is testing phase. After the coding, each module is tested and unit testing is done, and unit testing involves each module in isolation from other modules. Errors are removed in this phase, and after that the integration of modules is undertaken. Integration of modules and system testing is done in a planned manner. The goal of system testing is to ensure that the developed system conforms to its requirements that are written in SRS document. Next phase is installation. It depends upon the type of the project, whether the project is generic or customized. And in this phase, software is installed at the customer site and testing is done at their site. Next phase is operation and maintenance. Maintenance of software requires more effort than the effort necessary to develop the product itself. Maintenance involves the different activities like corrective maintenance, perfective maintenance, adaptive maintenance. Corrective maintenance involves correcting errors that were not discovered during the product development phase. Perfective maintenance involves improving the implementation of system and enhancing the functionality of system according to the customer's requirements. Adaptive maintenance usually required for porting the software to work in new environment. This slide shows the outputs of each phase. Where after the feasibility study, feasibility report is generated. After the requirement analysis and project planning, the SRS document is prepared. After the software design or system design, the system design document is the output generated, and after detailed design document is generated. After the coding, the programs are the outputs, and programs are executable document and other documents are non-executable. After the testing phase, the test report is generated. After the installation report is generated. And we will discuss about the verification and validation. These two sentences differentiate between the verification and validation. Are we building the right product? Or second sentence is, are we developing the product right? Are we developing the right product, or are we developing the product right? V&V is the generic name given to the checking process, which ensures that software conforms to its specifications and meets the need of the customer. The system should be verified and validated at each stage of the software process using documents produced in the previous stage. Verification involves checking the program conform to its specification, whereas validation involves checking the program implemented meets the needs of the customer. To satisfy the objective of V&V process, both the static and dynamic techniques of system checking should be used. We will discuss the advantages of classical waterfall model. This model is easy to understand and reinforce the notion of define before design and design before code. This model expects the complete and accurate requirement early in the process, which is unrealistic. Shortcomings of classical waterfall model. The classical waterfall model is idealistic one, since it assumes that no error is committed by engineers during any of the life cycle phases, and so leaves no scope of error correction. This model assumes that all the requirements are defined correctly in the beginning of project, but in actual it is difficult to define all the requirements in the beginning. This model is not suitable for accommodating any change. It does not scale up well for large projects. Now we will discuss little bit about iterative waterfall model. The classical waterfall model is an idealistic one since it assumes that no development error is ever committed by engineers during any of the life cycle phases. However, in practical development, engineers do commit large number of errors almost every phase of the development. Feedback paths are needed to allow the correction of errors. The principle of phase containment of errors is followed, and to do this, software reviews are used to reduce the errors. This figure shows the iterative waterfall model, and from the figure it is clear that the feedback paths are there in this model. Phase containment of errors. Though the errors are inevitable in almost every phase of development, and it is desirable to detect the errors in the same phase in which they occur. This can reduce the effort required to correct the bugs. The principle of detecting errors as close as their points of introduction as possible is known as phase containment of errors. To follow the principle of phase containment errors, reviews are done to reduce the errors. Shortcomings of iterative waterfall model. The waterfall model cannot satisfactorily handle the different types of risks that a real life software project suffer from. A rigid adherence to waterfall model leads to blocking state in the system. Means the persons in the next phase will have to wait until the earlier phase is completed. The use of waterfall approach. This approach is used when the developer has clear understanding about the requirements of the project and is suitable for small projects.